Take 60 seconds to find your perfect mortgage with guaranteed rates, easy, intuitive loan finder.
We would do it with the help of companies like Walmart. So thank you so very much.
Appreciate it.
Now, if the regular gang will come on down. I think I'm going to continue to start with police and fire. We continue the rescue efforts in the city, specifically as it relates to West Houston, up there where the water is being released from the Addicks and Barker Dam. But you know, the curfew went into place last night. I want to thank Houstonians for cooperating with us. It's from 12 to 5, and as you know, it's for public safety purposes and make sure that people who are out of their homes, that they don't have to worry about their homes being burglarized and anything of that nature. We're very, very serious about it, and so it went very well. And like some people may have been stopped last night and asked, you know, why you may have been out, and when they indicated either they were going to work or coming from work, there were no citations or anything given. So last night was a good night. It's my hope that tonight will be just like last night. But please bear in mind, the curfew is in effect. The curfew is still in effect. We do want you off the streets from 12 to 5 unless you are going to a shelter, in need of a shelter, going to work or coming from work. We need you off the streets from midnight to 5 o'clock. I would tell you what my dad used to say for anybody that's out after 12 o'clock, but since this is being broadcast, I'd have to tell you in private what he would say. But the curfew is in effect from midnight to 5 o'clock. Please clear the streets at that time. But let me call on Chief Satterwhite for his report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon. So, about the curfew, I want to start with that and say thanks to the city of Houston and to the citizens of Houston. Last night, we made no arrest for the curfew. People are working with us, and we still certainly have individuals going out, and we've had to conduct enforcement activities and make arrests, but we had no curfew arrests last night, just to make that clear. Tonight, we ask again that people stay indoors. Again, it's for your safety. It's our ability to manage this situation and to take care of those people most in need. And so please adhere to that. Stay indoors if you can, and don't go out unless you have to. I want to say thanks to the citizens of Houston, the community. On behalf of all of our officers, I keep getting reports from all of our officers of just the outpouring of love and that the citizens and the public are showing to officers wherever they see them. And that matters. So thank you very much for that. They're working very long hours. We have not let them go home. Except for very extreme circumstances, we have kept them on duty. And when they needed downtime, we sent them to a cot or a couch or something like that. But we have kept them working, and they will do that, and they will continue to do that and serve the city. That is our job, and that is our mission. But it is taxing. But I'll tell you that every time the public reaches out and supports us and shows that personal support to every officer that they see on the street, that's why we do it. I mean, not for the gratitude, but we do it for you, and we do it for each other. So thank you. Yes, George, as of today, we've received 5,000 calls for service and that includes high water rescue, but a whole lot of other types of calls too. We have had 1,500 high water rescue vehicle dispatches that we've sent out, going out trying to pull people out of their homes and out of vehicles to get them to safety. Today we rescued up to 40 people, and in total we've had over 3,500 people rescued since the storm began. I want to also extend my thanks to all of our partners. It's not just the Houston police officers out there, it's the Houston Fire Department out there. It's so many other first responders that I know I'm going to get in trouble because I'm going to miss so many, but I do want to say thanks to the state and to DPS, thanks to the Coast Guard who have been amazing, thanks to some smaller agencies that have sent their people out and got them out here early and went to work in Williamson County, and thanks to Austin. And that is just a small percentage of the agencies, of the departments, of the people that are reaching out, our colleagues in the public safety sector that are coming to us, and the calls and the response is just unbelievable. We really appreciate that. And on behalf of Chief Acevedo, I really want to thank everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to acknowledge, I received a call from the representative, I think the 100 Club, that indicated that to the Perez family, the wife, that she will be very quickly being given, I think, a check for about $25,000 from the club, and all of the bills of Sergeant Perez will be taken care of. For their mortgage, credit bills, you name it, they're going to wipe those clean. So I'm going to pray that we continue to lift up the Perez family in their loss. And then I had a chance to talk to the Admiral of the Coast Guard. You know, they tried to go into the Beaumont-Port Arthur area last night. It was very difficult because of the rain that they got, and I think they ended up getting anywhere between 20 to 24 inches of rain on yesterday, so they got quite a bit. This has been a storm that simply does not discriminate based on geography. They've been taking a look at the port, and they will be making some progress there, and hopefully our port, and I haven't talked specifically with Janice Longoria, but hopefully the port will be opening real soon. And then there were 2 ships that were scheduled to dock in the Galveston area last week, leading up to the storm on Saturday. One went to New Orleans, the other one went to Miami, and I think both of those ships are expected maybe to come in on this coming Friday. And I think there are about 6,000 passengers on those two ships. Let me call on now Chief Pena. Well, Chief Mann. Chief Mann will be speaking on behalf of Chief Pena. Okay.
Good evening. The fire department has continued today to operate in our rescue and recovery operations. We've been working in 3 primary areas today: the Kingwood area, the area off of I-10, the Maxey Road, Normandy area, and then as well as the area out west of Houston, I-10 Eldridge, Briar Forest area. We have seen a transition from rescue calls more to recovery operations. The calls for rescue have begun to stabilize, especially in the Kingwood and the I-10 area. We will continue to be operating in Kingwood and as well as the far west side again tomorrow in our operations. We've had, since this operation has began, we've had over 15,000 calls for assistance, and we have most of our crews have been on duty, and we've now nonstop. We begin to transition our crews. They're now working 48-hour shifts nonstop until in our recovery and rescue efforts, and that's what we'll be doing ongoing. Tomorrow, well, first off, let me echo what Chief Satterwhite said regarding the community. I want to thank the community for the outpouring of support. Again, we're receiving the same information that the community is, the amount of support that our first responders have been receiving has been overwhelming. The food, the water, the things that they need to have been working for days and days on end have been met by the community. And we just thank you so much for all your support. It means a lot to the first responders out there. Tomorrow we're going to begin transitioning in the portion of our city that has seen some recession in the water from a rescue mode to more recovery operations. We're going to begin what we call our wide area search in the areas that have been most heavily impacted. Tomorrow we'll be starting in the southwest part of town. We'll be doing basically a block by block, door by door search of structures that we believe have had 3 foot or greater of water in them to assure that there are no people that we have left behind. We'll be looking into those areas beginning tomorrow morning. Those areas of town we can get into at this point, and as the water recedes in other areas, we will continue those operations throughout the city. This will be an ongoing process with a lot of boots on the ground. We are going to be integrated with the FEMA urban search and rescue teams, along with Houston Fire Department, are jointly conducting these operations beginning tomorrow. And again, we'll be going throughout the city doing this. This will be a 1 to 2 week long process, again, to assure that we have addressed all those areas that have been hardest and most impacted.
Thank you. Thanks, Chief. We've talked about the airports only in passing in recent days, but Mario Diaz, the director of the Houston area, Houston Airport System, is here. Mario.
Good evening, everyone. Mario Diaz, director of the Houston Airport System. At 4 p.m. this afternoon, the Houston Airport System lifted the restriction on commercial passenger operations at our 2 international airports. About 15, 20 minutes ago, United Airlines brought in its first flight from Los Angeles International. They will be bringing an additional 5 aircraft this evening from their hubs. They would be San Francisco, Denver, Chicago, Newark, New York, and Washington Dulles. They will be taking 3 aircraft out this evening. Tomorrow we will have our first set of international flights. The first aboard Air China to Beijing, the second on Turkish Airlines to Istanbul. On Saturday, midday, Southwest will resume and ramp up all of its flights at Hobby, domestic and international. And then by Sunday, we expect to have a full complement of international operations and 75 to 80% of domestic. Over the ensuing week, we expect to be up to full schedule operations and normal operations for all passenger activity at the airports. I would like to say this, please. We are in a phase now where we're ramping up operations, so please, passengers, do not come to the airports unless and until you have a confirmation of a seat on a flight. You either have checked in on the internet and have a boarding pass, or you have received confirmation from your airline that you are have a seat on an aircraft leaving the airport. I would say that because we know that there are a limited number of seats, and the airlines are really going to be in a ramp-up mode at this point. With that, I would be happy to take any questions you might have.
Is all the staff able to make it? I know this is a gradual process, but is all the staff able to make it to handle the volume of customers?
Houston Airport Systems, yes, we have a full complement of staff. They have stayed on. We're bringing in a fresh crew, so we have no doubt we'll be able to handle it. The airlines, and let's also remember we have the agency, the Transit Security Administration, Customs and Border Protection, the FAA. They have got to bring in all their staff. The TSA, for example, has 100 agents up in Dallas-Fort Worth that will be bringing them in. So these assets were essentially placed strategically around the region so that they could easily come in. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. With regards to the shelters, you know, George R. Brown was the largest shelter. We reached a count of about 10,000 individuals. I am pleased to announce that we're now down to about 8,000. People have started to kind of transition. So that is good news. We are no longer accepting any new people. At the George R. Brown, if people come in, we will take them by bus or some other mode of transportation to the NRG shelter. So the NRG shelter is now up, functioning, ready, available for them. And so if by chance, if you come to the George R. Brown, we will then transport you to the NRG. And so I would encourage any individuals who may need shelter to go to the NRG. I've talked to the county judge. There's plenty of space. They are well equipped to handle whatever needs that may exist, and plenty of space. So please, I would encourage you to go there. There is no longer a need to accept donations at BBVA. Houstonians have been very, very generous in their contributions and their donations. And so there's no need to accept any more at BBVA. I would ask you to go to the City of Houston website for additional details on how to donate. Certainly, we would not have been able to get people to the various shelters without the help of Metro. We certainly appreciate them. They have gone over and above board in meeting the needs of all Houstonians and people in the Metro service area. Karen Padman, chairperson of the board, is here. Karen.
Thank you. I'm so glad to report that we are able to resume service tomorrow on a limited basis. Some of our major bus routes and some of our minor ones will go back into operation. We'll also have limited service on Metro Rail's Red Line. We will not resume park and ride service until Tuesday, and the HOV-HOT lanes and Metro Rail green and purple lines will remain suspended until further notice. But you can go to ridemetro.org and figure out all of the buses that we will have running, the portion of the red line that will be running, and the times of those running. We ask you to our public to be indulgent with us, because things might not run as precisely on schedule, and our next bus texting might not be quite as precise as we get back into gear, but we are getting back into gear. Our buses on the major routes will be running about every 30 minutes. Rail from Fannin south to Downtown Transit Center will be running about every 15 minutes. And we have also resumed medically necessary and life-sustaining Metro Lift trips today. We continue our support for the rescue operations, working with our community partners. We have transported over 7,600 people to shelters so far. Today, we're supporting 3 rescue command posts with 10 buses and police and safety staff at each location. Those are Kingwood, West Side at Memorial City Mall, and East Side at Fire Station 44 on Maxey Road. And we continue to coordinate with the Red Cross to ensure that their supplies make it to their destinations. We're coordinating with shelter operations to provide transport services as necessary. We have implemented a shuttle from the M.O. Campbell Center to a local pharmacy, and shuttles from NRG to nearby major stores and pharmacies. I want to thank so very much the entire Metro staff and team for really giving it their all, as have all of the agencies represented up here and beyond out in Houston. So we thank you, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Okay. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you. And Metro has done an outstanding job. With regards to trash pickup, we started our heavy debris pickup today, and that will continue to be ramped up. So we started the heavy trash pickup today, and then with respect to our regular trash pickup, the regular trash pickup will resume tomorrow. So the regular trash pickup, that is not the recycling, okay, of those other elements, but the regular trash pickup will resume tomorrow. What I've indicated to my staff and team and partners, you know, we need to get back into operation. I think we can do more than one thing at one time, but we still have to address the needs of so many who find themselves in a stressful situation, but we need to get back to our regular business order. And so regular trash pickup will begin tomorrow on Thursday. The heavy trash debris pickup started today. I anticipate there will be a lot of debris, and we're going to move as expeditiously as we can, working in partnership with FEMA to get this heavy trash pickup up as quickly as possible. So we're going
All right, you've been listening into City of Houston officials, including Mayor Sylvester Turner, talking right now in regards to everything: shelters, curfew, flights in and out now of Bush Intercontinental and Houston Hobby Airport. So as the city works to resume regular operations, things are going to continue to be in effect, like that curfew, like the rescues that are still underway, and the people that are still coming into the shelter. So providing critical information to the folks here in the affected neighborhoods as we watch the community of Houston, the city of Houston, and the surrounding areas deal in this aftermath of what was Hurricane Harvey, Tropical Storm Harvey, a prolific and now historic rainmaker for this city. This will be the new benchmark when you talk about flood events for the city of Houston. We've heard of problems over into Orange County, Port Arthur, Beaumont, Lake Charles. Of course, do not want to forget about Rockport, hit very hard when this storm moved on shore. So there are a lot of communities that are rebuilding and areas that are still seeing the flooding. Severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes is tracking those areas right now.
Yeah, indeed. The flooding continues, and it'll continue overnight in the next couple of days. Alex, some good news. The tornado watch expired at the top of the hour. We're not totally out of the woods yet in terms of a tornado. Can't rule one out in central Mississippi, southeast Arkansas, and these areas that are getting thunderstorms in central and southern Alabama tonight, but no tornado warnings at the moment. This surface low is still getting a lot of rain off in west central parts of Louisiana, north of Harvey, where we're getting winds here from the north versus here from the east. They're colliding, pushing all that very moist air together, and that helps generate rainfall. And as Harvey moves off toward the north and east, that heavy rain area will also, here's where it is right now. It's off in areas north and west of Natchitoches, Louisiana, and in DeSoto, Natchitoches, and Red River parishes, 2 to 5 inch per hour rainfall rates at times in some of these red cores. And so where is that going to head? Well, that's off to the northwest of the center, and so that is going to push its way up toward Memphis over the next day to 2 days. So there could be some places there that get 10 inches, maybe a foot of rain up along that way. Will be some flash flooding with that. The only severe warning at the moment is in southeast Georgia along that stationary front, Waycross and Ware County, a threat for damaging winds. Tomorrow, as the surface low of Harvey continues north and east, Nashville and Huntsville could get a chance of a tornado, as well as maybe as far as south and east as the Atlanta area, maybe parts of the other Gulf Coast states as well. So this catastrophe continues. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
With Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape, you can prep any angle quicker and easier. 3M's advanced poly material helps stop paint seepage, and it's easy to remove in one long pull, so you can pull off a better paint job. Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape.
This Labor Day at Enterprise Car Sales. Experience great customer service and get more for your trade August 25th through September 5th. And let Enterprise Car Sales flip your thinking about buying your next vehicle.
I take pictures of sunrises, but with my back pain, I couldn't sleep and get up in time. Then I found Aleve PM.
Aleve PM is the only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour pain-relieving strength of Aleve.
I'm back.
Aleve PM for a better AM.
I'll never find a safe used car.
Start at thenewcarfax.com.
Show me minivans with no reported accidents.
Boom.
Love it. Show me the Carfax.
Start your used car search at theallnewcarfax.com.
I'm only in my 60s. I've got a nice long life ahead, big plans. So when I found out Medicare doesn't pay all my medical expenses, I looked at my options. Then I got a Medicare supplement insurance plan.
If you're eligible for Medicare, you may know it only covers about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. Call now and find out about an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare Supplement insurance plans, it helps pick up some of what Medicare doesn't pay and could save you in out-of-pocket medical costs.
To me, relationships matter. I've been with my doctor for 12 years. Now I know I'll be able to stick with them.
With these types of plans, you'll be able to visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients. Plus, there are no networks and virtually no referrals needed. So don't wait. Call now and request this free decision guide to help you better understand Medicare and which AARP Medicare supplement plan might be best for you. There's a wide range to choose from.
We love to travel, and there's so much more to see. So we found a plan that can travel with us anywhere in the country.
Join the millions of people who have already enrolled in the only Medicare supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP, an organization serving the needs of people 50 and over for generations. Remember, all Medicare supplement insurance plans help cover what Medicare doesn't pay and could save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. Call now to request your free decision guide and learn more about the kinds of plans that will be here for you now and down the road.
I have a lifetime of experience, so I know how important that is.
Why be in the kitchen when you can be in the moment? Olive Garden now offers catering delivery. We make the food and deliver it to your door so you can enjoy what's important.
Discover card. Hey, what can you tell me about your new Social Security alerts? Oh, we'll alert you if we find your Social Security number on any one of thousands of risky sites, so you'll be in the know. Ooh, sushi. Ugh. Being in the know is a good thing.
Sign up online for free. Discover Social Security alerts.
Let's dance, Grandma.
You don't
let anything keep you sidelined. That's why you drink Ensure with 9 grams of protein and 26 vitamins and minerals for the strength and energy to get back to doing what you love. Ensure, always be you.
I've lived here almost a dozen years, and I've been through many, many storms, including Ike. It's never gotten anywhere near this. At some point, the lake out and back starts coming over the edge, and now here's the lake moving in on us. So we're basically in the middle of a lake, 5 feet of water all the way around us. Keep on praying for it to go down, and maybe it goes down a little bit and then it comes back up again. You can hear all the cars dying at night as the water rises up, their alarms go off, their lights come on. For 2 or 3 days it just seemed to never stop, and up, up, up comes the water. You're getting sick at your stomach, you just hurt in your chest, you're frightened, you can't believe what you see. We just kept on hanging on to that belief that it would drain, the rain would stop. That's, I mean, like, it's a surprise to me. I'm here right now.
Yeah, we saw that woman talking to our own Jim Cantori earlier today. So many people have wonderful attitudes, but despite the worst possible scenario for their livelihood, for their homes, and that is also a scene that's unfolding here in the Bear Creek neighborhood. This is on the northwest side of Houston, so we're talking areas around the Addicks Reservoir, and some of the folks out here have been saying a lot of the community is underwater, and to really stay out of these floodwaters. One of the guys mentioning that the sewage plant nearby has seen some flooding. It's underwater. So why we always stress, don't go out there. Don't let your kids play in the floodwaters. This water is full of dirt and sewage and chemicals and the nastiest of the nasty. So very important. And we've also seen reports of fire ants colonies floating on the floodwaters. So I know it's getting sunny out, and you want to get out and about, and the kids want to play in it, but stay out of it. It's so dangerous and Chris, really downright disgusting, which is what makes your heart break for people who now have this water seeping into their homes. I saw neighborhoods yesterday where people were pulling items out of their home to put at the curb for the trash because it's not salvageable at this point.
Yeah, again, just a heartbreaking story. And to only add to the worsening of the matters, yeah, the rain may be over, but the problems are not even close. We've got the heating that'll be arriving soon. Now that the sun is coming out, of course, it's still summertime. Keep that in mind. And there's still over 300,000 people here along the Texas coast and throughout Houston Metro that don't have electricity. And with the temperatures on the rise, that's going to pose a concern. So where Alex is, she's on the northwest side of Houston, right in this general vicinity. So she's in the clear, but the rain has pushed off towards the east and north, and it will be moving now. But first, let's get a look at your forecast here for Houston. And going forward, notice we don't really have any rain in sight, so that's good news. Maybe a few thunderstorms early next week. But the bigger story is going to be the heat now. All that water is just going to slowly subside, hopefully. It subsides quicker than slower. But the big issue is going to be the heat and the heat index. Very humid place, Houston. And look at the heat indexes. Even though temperatures may be in the low 90s, we're talking it feeling more like 100 degrees. All right, so that's Houston. Again, a big story here, the incoming heat that'll be returning as the sun makes its way known. But Harvey's going to spread all its moisture here throughout the Mississippi River Valley. Places like Memphis expecting 5 to 8 inches of rain as we go forth. And looking back, historically speaking, that's a big deal, with most of this rain coming over the next 24 to 36 hours. In fact, if we get over 6 inches, that'll put us in the top of the wettest August days on record. And these dates go back well into the early 1900s, even 1800s. So Alex, again, a big story here going forth. Not only the rain spreading north, but also the people still without power and the heat that's expected to move in over the coming days.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely something that gives you a cause for concern, especially, the elderly who need that air conditioning to stay cool. Even others, this is Houston, heat and humidity known, and to not have that air conditioning going to put you in a dangerous situation. Also, some of these businesses that are underwater still have power, so you've got to be careful. Another reason to be very hesitant before you get in that water. Our live coverage from Houston, parts of Southeast Texas, as well as Louisiana continues next.
The Lab is brought to you by State Farm. There for when things go wrong, but also here to help life go right.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're here to help. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
As Harvey's path continues, there is one place to turn to and to trust, keeping you ahead of the storm.
And thank God for y'all for letting us know in advance. We had some time to get stuff together and have some supplies.
Experts tracking every possible path.
We have got flooding ongoing everywhere.
America, please think about the people here in Texas.
Whether we're getting you through it or taking you to it, trust in the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under sunny skies. Tonight, generally clear. Low 59. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, a few clouds from time to time. High 84. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, a mostly clear sky. Low 60. Winds east-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Once-in-a-lifetime adventures don't just come to you.